Let's talk about Mexico. And because I'm using a new platform, I'm not really used to it. I'm just going to go straight ahead and not try to make it perfect. So if I make some mistakes, it's okay. I'm just going to teach you exactly like you were in my class. Are you ready? Let's go. So as we continue to answer that essential question, how can we understand the parts of art, global, societal, historical, and cultural? This week, during this particular video, we're going to respond with, I can understand how art represents different cultures, particularly from Mexico. In the first frame of the video, I was holding a globe. And this is the same thing. This is a map, except for it is flat. So globe is round, obviously. Map is flat. And you can see that, or maybe, I don't know, you can see that tiny white arrow on the left-hand side. So there's the United States, and it's showing from where we are located how long it would take us to get to Mexico. Not far at all. The Mexican flag is green and red and white, and the green represents the independence movement, the white, the purity of the Catholic faith, the red, the Spaniards that joined in the quest for independence, and the emblem, that's that middle picture with the bird on it. That's the shield symbolizes the Aztec heritage. And according to a beautiful legend, the gods had advised the Aztecs that the place where they should establish their city had to be identified when they saw an eagle perched on a prickly pear tree, devouring a serpent. They saw this mythical eagle on a marshy lake that is now the Zacola, or the main plaza in Mexico City. The flag was created in 1821. El Dia de la Bandera, or the Fiesta of the Mexican Flag, is celebrated on February 24th. You probably already know this, but to say hello in Spanish, you say hola. Mexico is actually really supposed to be called the United Mexican States, but Mexico is like a shortened name, kind of like here we call where we live America, but the technical name is the United States of America. So the real full name is the United Mexican States. The capital is Mexico City. The population that was counted back in 2013 was 122.3 million. I'm sure that count will go way up after this 2020 census is published. Their official language is Spanish, and their official religion is Roman Catholic. The size, 758,000, 100,000. Did I say that right? I don't think I did. 758,400. See, this is why I'm the art teacher, not the math teacher. Square miles. So Mexico is a little bit bigger than Alaska. So if you were looking at a map, Mexico and Alaska would be close to similar sizes. Their crops. So I bet if I asked you what was grown in Mexico, I would get a lot of different answers. And you would probably all be correct. Corn, sugarcane, sorghum, wheat, tomatoes, bananas, chili peppers, oranges, lemons, limes, mangoes, other tropical fruits, beans, barley, avocados, blue agave, and my favorite, coffee. So what we think about when we think of Mexican food is we may incorrectly think of Taco Bell, shame on us, or we may think of our favorite Mexican restaurant, which could or could not be authentic. It depends, because we have many influences in our country, and a lot of what we think is Mexican food is really Tex-Mex food, which is food that has been influenced by Texans and also Mexicans. But in this picture, you see a traditional taco. So it doesn't look like what we might do with lettuce and tomato, and cheese, lots of cheese. This has onions, radishes, and I believe, well, I know cilantro and avocado. So much like the way that we might make our hot dog or our hamburger. If you were to go to Mexico, you would find a lot of differences in the way that they make their staples, their foods that they eat a lot as you go from region to region. Frida Kahlo is probably one of Mexico's most famous artists, and I would love to read a book about her. So this is Frida by Jonah Winter, illustrated by Anna Juan. Frida enters the world. See if I can get this right for you. For little Frida, the world is Mexico. Her house is a blue house. It is in the town of Coyoacan. Frida's father is an artist and a photographer. He teaches her how to use a paintbrush. Frida's mother takes care of 6 daughters. Often she is tired. Often Frida is lonely, even though she has sisters. Enter stage left, Frida's imaginary friend. Her name is also Frida. They play games. All of a sudden, Frida falls very ill. She's in bed for months. There's something wrong with one of her legs. Even her imaginary friend can't cheer her. That's when Frida teaches herself how to draw. Drawing saves her from being sad. After Frida gets well, she still wants to make art, so she paints little paintings. They are copies of other paintings. Painting onto photographs is what Frida's father does for a living. He teaches her how to do this too. Frida also paints things she sees through a microscope. She loves looking at things very closely. At school, Frida studies science. She is bored. School is too easy. One day, Frida is riding the bus home from school. A horrible accident happens. A trolley runs into the bus. Frida almost dies. Guys, this is a true story. In the hospital, it is painting that saves her once again. Painting is like her imaginary friend. It is there whenever she wants it. It keeps her company. It keeps her from giving up hope. See what art can do? After the accident, life will never be the same for Frida. She will walk with a cane when she is able to walk. Her body will hurt always. But Frida doesn't cry or complain. Instead of crying, she paints pictures of herself crying. When she can't leave her bed, she paints in bed. When her whole torso, that's this part, when her whole torso is put in a cast, she paints on the cast. Nothing can stop Frida from painting. Because she's so often alone, unable to leave her house, she has to use her imagination. She paints what she sees in her heart, on top of what she sees with her eyes. It's almost like painting on photographs. Let's really look at this illustration. See the animals and the color, the swirly lines, the movement. She paints little magical scenes with words at the bottom. All over Mexico, people paint these kinds of scenes. Sometimes they are scenes of accidents with angels coming to the rescue. They are like prayers for people who are sick. They are called ex votos. Frida paints ex-votos of herself when she is sick or in pain. Frida imitates no one in her style. Her paintings are like nothing else. In museums, people still look at them and weep and sigh and smile. She turns her pain into something beautiful. It's like a miracle. Live long, Frida. Viva Frida! In our last video, I'm going to teach you a little bit about Amate bark painting from Mexico, and we will do our own version of an Amate bark painting. So I'll see you next time. Adios!